Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Droid Life Show today, episode 221. It is Friday, December 13th. Friday the 13th. I'm your host, Kelly. Tim, say hi.
Hey, guys. How's it going? Tim here. Welcome back. Thank you.
So it's good to have you all back. Yes, as someone in the chat just mentioned, I did just finishing up the $50,000 Mac Pro that I ordered the other day.
Yeah, congratulations, and we're all out of a job.
There's actually no way in hell I ordered a $50,000 Mac Pro, but
Please
it'd be fun, I guess. Yeah, I actually would just want the monitor. I'd have no use for it, but that's the only thing that really looks cool. I have no idea why people would buy a $50,000 computer. But anyway, so yes, welcome back. Holiday season in full swing, and we got another fabulous show for you today. The topics are not scorching hot, but they will be fun. We also will have trivia at the end of the show. If you're new around here, at the end of every show, we do trivia, 5 questions. We give away prizes to 5 winners who answer, prize or questions correctly. That's right. It's super easy, but we do it at the end of the show, and it's a good time. This week, we're giving away $10 in Google Play credit to everyone who wins. So if you just hang around for like an hour and listen to us blab, and then come back for trivia or whatever, you could win $10 in Google Play credit. Also, just as a reminder, we're closing this sort of charity drive period that we do. So this is the second time now we've taken 3 months straight where we support a charity. And so for October, November, and December, we're gathering every single donation you can possibly give to us to then donate to the Cancer Research Institute. So we've been doing this for 2.5 months. We have this show, and next week will probably be our last show of the year and also of December. So the next 2 weeks are kind of your final chance to get donations in for the Cancer Research Institute. We're donating 100% of what you donate. And when I say donate, I mean, if you're watching live on YouTube, there's a super chat button, which is a little $ in our chat. Click that, donate whatever you want if you can. And we're going to give 100% of that to the Cancer Research Institute to do what we can to help defeat cancer. Terrible thing, and we're gonna do what we can. Last time we gave to the Oregon Humane Society, supported a bunch of animals. Now we're doing what we can to fight cancer. Before the show even started, we had $200 big old dono bombs. Charles PC747, I believe he typically goes by, $100, says I got to catch y'all in post, got to work, but let's continue to do our part for cancer research. Appreciate that, Charles. $100, and then 8 minutes later, Brian drops $100 and says, Merry Christmas and F cancer. Huge donations to start the show. Really, really appreciate that, you guys. I mean, it's been a pretty incredible sort of charity drive that we've done here for the last couple of months. I can't wait to total all of those up to let you guys know. And that'll happen here in just a couple of weeks. We'll make that donation basically to start the year or end the year. I guess we'll figure out where we want to do that. Maybe you guys can recommend what you want there. But yes, donation to the Cancer Research Institute. So donate what you can if you can.
Thank you all very much. Yes,
thank you all very much. So topics this week. Again, we're kind of in that slowish holiday period where there's not a lot of breaking massive news that goes on, but there are some things. Like there's the first ever Pixel feature drop, which is like huge news. Samsung said it sold 1 million Galaxy Folds and then walked that back pretty quickly. We know battery sizes for Galaxy S11, which sounds like a weird topic, but when you talk about the Pixel 4 just releasing with like the tiniest batteries ever, it's worth talking about. We might see OnePlus enter the mid-range again. We've got RCS rolled out fully in the US. Tim reviewed a couple of products this week, Nest Wi-Fi and the Lenovo Smart Display 7. So we got those to talk about. We got some good stuff as the donations continue to roll in. Muck just dropped $5 and says, as I'm joking, hold on.
Okay.
I'm joking. Tim, take this for a second.
All right. Today we're talking about a whole bunch of good stuff. And we're going to send it back to Kim.
I was talking donations.
Oh yeah.
Muck just dropped $5. Condolences to all who didn't make it. F cancer. Appreciate that $5, Muck. And Chris S dropped $20 as well. Didn't say anything, but we appreciate the $20. Mick, Muck, and Chris. Appreciate those donos, you guys.
Thank you, guys.
I don't know what I just choked on. Notorious for just choking on spit and things like that. My wife kind of constantly looks at me like, why do you keep doing this? Why do you choke on all of your food and spit? It's weird. Anyway, I think I'll survive. Donate to Kellen's Log. It's all right. Seriously. So let's dive in. let's dive in and let's talk Pixel feature drop. So this was kind of a weird month for Pixel updates. Google dropped the December Pixel update for, well, it was the last one for the Pixel XL, and then the 2 and 3 and 3A all got updates. And for some reason, the Pixel 4 update was missing. And Google said, yeah, it's missing because it's coming next week. I don't know why, but that's 2 months in a row. We've basically seen delayed updates for the Pixel 4. Either way, they were waiting, I guess, because they wanted to announce the first ever Pixel feature drop. So the Pixel feature drop is going to be a regular thing, Google says. I mean, we know Google announces things and then backs away from them or gets rid of them shortly thereafter. So we'll see. But the Pixel feature drop is apparently going to be a thing where they announce a bunch of new features that come to Pixel phones, possibly exclusive, that sort of thing. So the first drop was this week, and it sort of lined up alongside the Pixel 4's December patch. Although I can't tell if they're actually related because a lot of this stuff is just updates to apps. So anyway, very weird. The first thing that you'll get now is in Google Photos, which this seems like something that should maybe come to any phone that has access to Google Photos, but Google might be making it Pixel exclusive. You can blur the background of pictures after the fact. Wow. Like we're at the point now where we're just bokehing things back here. Without,
we don't need portrait modes anymore.
Yeah, we apparently don't need portrait modes or cameras that can do that because Google's algorithm will do it for us, which is, I guess that's cool. I tried it on a couple. It worked okay on some, not so great on others, but that's, I guess, what you get with a sort of digital enhancement like that. Algorithms are just only so damn smart, right? I got to stop with 2 big donations just came in. Tech Matter just dropped $20. Also says F cancer. Lots of F cancers. This is one of those things where I want to put spam F cancer in the chat. Isn't that what streamers do? Spam that in the chat. Yeah. F cancer.
F cancer.
Because yes, F cancer. Trevor Klaus also $10 says bottle of water for Kellen and to support cancer research. Appreciate that. I do have a drink here.
What is it? What are we drinking?
The problem is I will probably choke on that too. And so we're just it's like this cycle, right? It's like this cycle where okay. Anyway, thanks for the donation, guys. What's up?
What are you drinking?
This is a grapefruit sparkling water.
Oh, sparkling water.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Better than the old soda pop.
True.
Popinski.
Yeah.
And I already had enough coffee to start the day, so probably don't need any more of that. Okay, so bokeh blurring in photos now. So if you go into Google Photos, you probably already have this. Tap on a photo, hit the little edit button down at the bottom, and then if it's a photo that's supported, actually it may even pop up and recommend you, but blur the background is a sort of little pop-up on certain photos. But anyways, you hit the edit button. There's a blur slider now. You can adjust blurage. What I think is probably the biggest update is automatic call screening, which has now showed up in the phone app. So you guys know call screen, big Pixel feature where somebody calls you, tap a little button to screen their call, and they have to talk to Google Assistant and tell Google Assistant why they're an important phone call, and then you can decide if you want an answer or not. Now those are happening automatically, so you can automatically filter out anything suspected of robocalls and spam. You can have some things sent to call screen or Google Assistant. And then there's also you can pull, I think you record all that audio or something. Can you not record it, but you can pull it later or something like that. It's recording it for you. I should probably know all this. I do have it handy. Hold on. Call screen.
One's going to expect you to remember everything.
Yeah, you can save call screen audio is what I was trying to say. They used to save transcripts. Now it'll save the actual audio. Like I have mine right now set to silently decline any spam calls. Like if a spam call comes in, it's just there. Possibly faked numbers. Is that an official term?
Official term?
Possibly faked numbers. That's what they're calling the setting.
Yeah, it's PFC.
That'd be PFN. First time callers, you can also have them sent to screen call or private or hidden number. So we've really advanced the call screen thing here.
And still no one calls me. Like the only people that call me are the robocall. So everything I get is either fake or spam or robo. It sucks.
Sure. It kind of seems like it. Actually, Comcast. The day that I think it rolled out, I had 2 calls come in that each rang once and then disappeared. And a lot of times I blame Google Voice for that. I don't know did your Google Voice ever do the thing where calls just kind of stop coming through and you have to reset it? No. Okay. So I don't know if anyone else in the chat has had this problem, but it's like connected to my Verizon number of all things. So my Verizon number, I typically keep a Verizon and a T-Mobile number attached to my Google Voice at all time. And every once in a while, if I have my Verizon number attached to it, the calls on my Google Voice will come through and they'll like basically hang up and then go directly to my Verizon voicemail, not my Google voicemail. And so it's really bad. And so then I end up just disconnecting my Verizon number. It's a giant, I probably shouldn't say on there, it sucks. And so I constantly just disconnect my Verizon number from Google Voice. Either way, I thought that's what was happening, but I think it was actually the new call screen just automatically just cutting people off after one ring. It's kind of great.
Interesting. Yeah, see, I don't know. I mean, hopefully it's a very smart system and, doesn't think my mom is spam, even though she doesn't call me. So.
Had weird stuff with Google Voice before.
Yeah, sometimes people have weird things happen with Google Voice, and thankfully I haven't really had any of those problems because, like I need another reason to complain about Google's services. I already think they're all pretty darn janky, so.
I think it's a Verizon thing, because if you haven't had it happen to you, you haven't been on Verizon in a long time.
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah.
And even though they're the best, right? Like, it's funny. Like, I refuse to use the best network in my area.
You got to take a stand somewhere.
I know. One poor guy or person in the chat says he still doesn't even have dark mode for Gmail on his Galaxy S10e. Like, that's just super sad.
What? How's that even possible?
I don't know, but that's what they say. Are you switched to dark mode on your like system theme?
Yeah, well, if you go into Gmail and slide out the little menu, go to the bottom, hit settings, you don't have the theme chooser there? Because it could be it could be like forced on light theme all the time. I don't know. You should check that should definitely be rolled out. I don't even know if you could have Gmail today with a phone like that and not. That's weird. Okay.
Yeah, it was quad. Yeah, come on, quad speed. Let's go. And also, shout out to Don Wilson, who's in the chat today. Haven't seen you for a while, Don, but we're so happy to have you.
Big Bon Dono Don. Haven't seen you in a while, Don.
He's in the house. How's the palm? No, it's not a palm chi.
It's a Chewini.
Yeah, the Chewini. My neighbor's got a palm chi, and so now we get the two mixed up. I got Don with the Chewini and neighbors with the palm chi. So
that's a Pomeranian and a Chihuahua? A palm chi?
Yeah.
Pomeranian and Chihuahua. Interesting. Okay.
It's the world's most annoying dog.
I was just gonna, let somebody else say that, but I'm glad that you just went
friendly.
For it.
But oh man, he's like hyperactive. He's cool.
Oh, I'm sure. Let's see. Also in this feature drop, Google Duo got some improvements. Again, I don't think it's really well. This one says it's specific to the Pixel 4. It doesn't seem like it should be hardware related, but there's now we're doing all sorts of bokehing. So Bouquet back here in Duo calls now, and also it'll like follow your face like as you do this. See, it's not centering me. If you do this in Google Duo now, it'll center you. It'll try to like follow you, which is kind of fun. And if somebody like were to walk over here in the screen behind me, it'll move like over here so that they're also so that's kind of cool. Let's see. Google Maps now faster than ever. It locks onto location faster than ever. Fun. The Recorder app, which we already knew about, is now on older Pixel phones. Live caption also on other older Pixel phones. Digital well-being focus mode has new features, and the flip to shh thing is now on the Pixel 2 and 2 XL. So this was the feature drop. A lot of this stuff kind of rolled out last week and we knew about it, and then Google announced it all as one big thing this week. It's really, like the way they do this just kind of takes the fun out of it. It wasn't like we didn't know anything about it and they dropped it on us and here's a bunch of features to play with to talk about. They didn't do that. This is all, it just trickles out. It's Google. It sucks. What some may argue is the biggest feature of the feature drop is RAM improvement. I don't really know what else to add there. What did Google say?
They added more RAM?
Yeah, that's the thing.
How
did
they do that?
They didn't.
Because that's what it needs.
The new enhancement will proactively compress cached applications so that users can run multiple applications at the same time, like games, streaming content, and more. That is the RAM improvement. I know that's going to make people really excited because we love to, dump all over Pixels and their poor RAM management, which I'm only slightly joking because the RAM management, particularly the Pixel 3, was awful and it was like drama for months on end. RAM should be better, guys.
That's cool.
I wish it was adding more RAM as Tim suggested, but it's not. it's not. So that is the Pixel feature drop. The first ever Pixel feature drop. We don't know when the next one's coming. They just said it'll be a regular thing.
That's a big deal, I guess.
I mean, let's be honest, though. This really just means instead of trickling out feature by feature, they'll just kind of try to put them into one thing, but they still trickled out anyway in this. So whatever. I should be excited.
Well, we should all be we should all be so as excited, like, you know, like you, super happy about feature drops.
It's pretty exciting stuff.
I'm really bummed about the Pixel 4 in general this year. You know, I feel like they're just, oh yeah, there isn't much hype about the phone. You know, like even the Pixel 3 XL and its ugly notch, I feel like got more attention and love from the community than this Pixel 4. Like the Pixel 4 is it's a bust. No one is out there recommending you go buy a Pixel 4. If you are buying a Pixel 4, you got to at least get the Pixel 4 XL, right? So you at least have a little bit of battery life. So the Pixel 4 is just sort of a disappointment. However, I will say I did go see the movie Parasite last night in theaters. And, you know, it's one of the sort of movie theaters where they have like little tables you can set stuff on and kind of chillax. And the dude next to me had a Pixel 4 XL.
Whoa.
Sitting face down, and I was like, oh.
Whoa.
I like looked over to my girlfriend. I was like, Pixel brother, and like I put my Pixel out and I put it next to his, and I
proud.
I kind of gave him like the nod, and he was like, yeah, what's up? So that was cool. Yeah. So that was the first one I've ever seen in the wild. So that was a big. So yeah, I'll let you go ahead, but whoop whoop whoop, Big Bomb Donodon.
Big Bomb Donodon shows up after. I feel like we haven't seen you in a while, Don, and lives up to the name. Big Bomb Donodon just dropped $101. Are you trying to upstage people, Big Bomb?
He really just did. He really did.
Honor of my wife fighting stage for you. Your wife's fighting stage. Jeez. Sorry to hear that, Don.
Sorry to hear that, Don.
Really, really appreciate the massive donation. I hope everything's. That's awful. Sorry, man. Sorry to hear that.
Cancer sucks.
Yes, it really does. It really does. Appreciate the dono, Don. Good to see you again. Yeah. So the Pixel thing, I don't see them very often outside of my family because I foolishly talked my entire family into buying them. Like my brother has a Pixel 3. I think my mom and stepdad both have a Pixel 3. My dad doesn't. He's kind of the rebel. He has a OnePlus 6T, I believe. And the wife used to have a Pixel, but they aren't good anymore. So she has a Note 10. Kind of weird, but so I see them just from people that are like in my family. But yeah, anybody else? No, it's just Samsung. Nah. Yeah. All right. So anyway, that's the Pixel feature drop. It's not really that big of a deal. There's some cool little things that kind of add to the experience, but we didn't get like better gestures or anything, as you mentioned, more RAM. Some slightly interesting news for a brief moment. Samsung's president was at TechCrunch's Disrupt Berlin. It's like it's not like a press event. I mean, he was speaking on stage. What would you call TechCrunch's Disrupt? It's like it's just a speaking engagement, whatever.
You don't want me to say.
Samsung's president was on stage and he was talking about innovation, and he kind of dropped this whole like, we're selling 1 million of these Galaxy Fold things. There's 1 million people who want to use this product at $2,000. So he was talking, I think, about innovation and how expensive it is to innovate possibly, and that whether or not people maybe want to pay for things. And he was like, yeah, we're selling 1 million. 1 million people want this $2,000 phone. And, we went, whoa, that's big news. So today, Yonhap News cited a Samsung spokesperson who said, yeah, they haven't actually sold 1 million of these Galaxy Folds, and the guy was confused. Yeah, he was apparently confused because that was just like an earlier projection the company had made that they hoped to sell 1 million, but they haven't actually sold that many. Maybe it's still probably a few 100,000, but
my guess is that he got confused about maybe how many people signed up. That, or like, hey, you could sign up to be notified when it's available. Like I could see 1 million people signing up to be notified. And so he's like, hey, there's 1 million people who would, pay $2,000 for this thing. So, that's a easy mistake. A question. I didn't read the original interview. Was it given in English?
That I don't actually know. The quote certainly seemed like he was speaking English. They were in Germany. He's obviously Korean. I don't know. So
Yeah. Could have been a
possibly?
language thing. Totally possible.
Could have been. I mean, TechCrunch reported it because it was at their thing. I'm assuming they probably took him for what he was saying, but
sure. I feel bad for the guy because he's like, it's probably an honest mistake. I mean, right when the story hit, though, I was like, nah, they didn't sell 1 million of these. There was only 5 in the U.S. in
that's
total.
why it was shocking. Yeah, we bought 2 or one of them. Yeah.
And we bought 2. Oh yeah, we bought 1 and got one of the other ones. So
got one of the other 5. We had 40% of them. He's the president and chief strategic or chief strategy officer. I mean, he's not like some low level dude. Like he should know. He should know better than to shout things. Either way, they did not sell 1 million. That said, I talked about this a little bit earlier in the week. If there's one phone that I wish I still had right now that I could just grab and use, it's that Galaxy Fold. And so I'm curious because I loved that damn thing, even as silly as it was. And we talked a lot about how you had to go out of your way sort of not to use it or change your habits because you were worried that it was going to get scratched or wet or whatever. And, I even mentioned if I handed it to my wife, I made her like wipe her hands off first. I mean, it was just like one of those things you're like, this thing is so fragile. And part of that is because Samsung told us, like the warning about your fingernail, it's not water resistant. Like you need to be ultra careful with this. I was then over it, partly because I knew we probably weren't going to keep it unless it was like the greatest thing ever. But so
be able to return it.
So out of all the issues about having to change my usage habits, like that's the phone I still wish that I had because I usually keep everything. But I was just curious, like, do you miss it enough to be like, I really wish I still had that thing?
I didn't even really think about it until you kind of started talking about it. You're like, oh man, I wish I had a Fold. And I was like, gosh, you know what? Like, what I miss is just being able to whip it out in public like you could back in the day. I just,
He's talking about the Fold.
Yeah, exactly. You could just take the Fold out and people be like, they would just stop and just be shocked. And you could show like, hey, this is what the future is going to be. Just, hey, yo, FYI, I've got that early access. Like this is the new. And people really seem genuinely excited about it. So, I mean, I pull the Pixel out and people are like, they don't care. You pull the Fold out, people are like, now that's cool. I really can't wait. And I hope that Motorola is kind to us and they send us a Razr foldable, man, because like that's the phone that I think could really be special because it at least folds in the way that I think a foldable phone should be. Like that's the orientation I prefer. So, fingers crossed that Motorola shows us some love. I think if anyone deserves it, man, it's Droid Life. But hey, whatever.
See, and not that I am not excited about the Razr, but I'm honestly not really that excited about it. I like the Fold because it gives me a mini phone experience that then gives me a bigger experience too. The Razr, while great if I wore really, really, really tight pants or needed to tuck a tiny little thing into a bag somewhere and I didn't have space. I don't know, like it would make sense, but you get a tiny thing that you can't do anything with that folds open into, this.
I will totally give you that. My hope is that then the Galaxy Fold 2 could be totally awesome as long as they make that cover display way bigger, like totally usable. I mean, that's a small little display and it was fine for looking at things, but actually using the phone, or a full experience, not so much. I guess so they make that cover display big and
I'm just so used to using a phone this size already. And so the Razr will, it'll go from like half of this and fold open to this, which is cool. Except I'm just so used to this already. Whereas the Galaxy Fold, it's this. I mean, the screen's smaller. And then it folds open to something big. Like it gives me more when I unfold it. Whereas the Razr, you're almost going down to like, well, I need less of this in my life. So give me a compact size that gives me what I'm used to having, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just not sure that, and the resolution's kind of down there. The processor, and, I'm going to complain about specs for a second. But I'm used to a phone this size. I don't need it to get shrink. I just would rather have something this size that gets bigger. That's where I'm at.
That's totally fine. And you're an American. You're entitled to that opinion. You want them big.
I do.
2 things So Xavier asks in the chat, what phone release are you most excited about for 2020? For me, well, let me guess for you first. Would it be HTC something or other? Nah. Fold 2.
Yeah.
We're not getting a Fold 2 next year though. It's gonna be like 2021.
Aren't there like current rumors though they're gonna probably tease it at the S11 launch or something?
Nah. I mean, there might be, but that seems really soon. I don't know how they improve the tech like that quickly. And plus, we started talking about fold phones from Samsung a long time ago. It took a long time for something to even come. So,
yeah, I don't really have great expectations for next year. And the reason I say that is, number one, every single phone could be crappy and expensive because Qualcomm's forcing everyone to put 5G chips in them. So that kind of sucks. Like I talked about that last week, how no matter what, your phone that you buy next year, if it's flagship, is going to have 5G. Could add to the cost, might make the designs crappy or bigger, like the S10 or the S11e. I'm just going to guess that it's probably going to be the size of the regular S10 this year. And that sucks. Like that eliminates the charm of the S10e, which was arguably small, right? And it's all because like we're forcing these 5G chips and everything, which is just dumb before we have networks. So the S11 line doesn't get me super excited, although the camera system could be fun. That's great.
That phone's gonna literally have everything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I should stop there for a second because it's probably going to have 120 hertz display, which is nuts, which is going to be fun, right? So if it has that in the camera, it'll probably be really good. That's exciting. Is it the thing that I'm most looking forward to? I don't know. Like there's part of me that always holds out hope that Google will do something great. I can't even say that without laughing.
No,
like if there's a Pixel 5, like it'll be great. I can't actually say that with a straight face. I think last week I talked a little bit about how Motorola said we're coming back to the premium space. And while they have not made a good phone, I shouldn't say that. They haven't made a great phone in a really, like name the last great Motorola phone. Probably one of the X's we would consider to be a phone we liked a lot. So they're coming back to the premium market. And again, last week I talked about how I'm excited for that. And I will refuse to write the blog post about that because I want it to actually happen. But if Motorola is re-entering premium after taking a year or two off, that's at least somewhat exciting. Just because Motorola, as weird as they are owned by Lenovo, sometimes does some interesting things. Like they're doing this whole one mid-range line that each one offers something different that's supposed to be cool. Like they have that new mid-range phone, the One Hyper. What a stupid name. It has 45 watt charging, right? Like it's got super duper fast Samsung-ish charging, which is cool. No one else is really doing that besides Samsung and sort of OnePlus. So Motorola, I think, probably the one I'm looking forward to just to see if they can do something interesting. I just hope it's not related to the Z line. I hope the Z line's dead. I hope they just start over. Maybe that's what they've been doing for 2 years. I don't know. So I'd say Motorola probably is who I'm looking forward to the most. And that's not saying much because it's Motorola. It's been a while.
All right.
What about you? Please don't say that essential candy bar nipple thing.
Oh, yeah. No.
Don't forget about the nipple phone from Essential.
Yeah, nothing's really kind of, I'm not going too crazy over anything yet. Of course, the S11 range will probably be fine.
It'll be good.
Yeah. I'm just going to take it slow. I'm going to try not to burn myself out over it. Yeah, I wish I could say, I feel like there's only like 3 phones coming out next year though. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. CES is going to be the thing, right? If CES is good, then we'll be like, okay, yeah, maybe it'll be a good year, but
CES is good. There's no such thing as CES being good.
I wish Huawei could, we always, I like Huawei hardware. It reminds me a lot of Samsung's hardware and stuff. So I wish we had a chance to play more with Huawei. I just wish we had more options, right? HTC, Sony, God forbid. There's just Motorola. I don't know, man. It's so many.
Huawei has never interested me even for like a second. And you know why? Because the software is horrendous.
It's gotten better.
I can tell you right now, and I haven't played with a Huawei phone in like 2 years because the software was so awful then. I bet you have to go through 17 steps just to make sure you get notifications on your lock screen properly. And then if you do, you probably can't interact with them or something. You probably have to unlock your phone. Like it's probably, and look, Android is centered around notifications. So if those things don't work, which they never did on Huawei phones, I just don't, I won't even like look at that crap. And maybe it's gotten better. And I know they have really nice hardware and they do really good things with cameras. No, I'm sure the software is absolutely awful still.
Lars says otherwise.
Yeah, and I get that. You can put a launcher. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the way it handles notifications specifically. Because every single Chinese phone that has a really heavy skin like that on it, I've played with Xiaomi phones. I played with older Huawei phones, even some of their Honors. They were all awful when it came to notifications. And if I don't get notifications when I'm supposed to, and I have to go find like battery optimization things buried 6 levels deep, then no. I just don't want to.
I appreciated the Huawei phones when I was using them. A couple of the Mate phones, the P, those P Pro phones are pretty good.
Nice the hardware was really nice.
The hardware is great. And I really think that makes up for some of the software issues. You're like, I really like just holding this phone. It's nice, metal, glass, what have you. It was nice. But as for next year, I guess I'll just say the Galaxy S11. I don't know, because I don't want the S11 Pro unless I have to, right? Like, I want to try some small phones. Like, I've been, I'm deemed the big phone guy here at Droid Life, which is totally fine. I'll take that. But gosh,
want to play the Pixel 4 for a while?
Yeah, see, and that's the problem, right? There's always like some huge downside to the small phones. However, with that Galaxy S11, I mean, big old batteries for those two phones. So, for both, small one included. So,
multiple people in the chat tell me, let's see, Soccerburn, Richard Ratner, Lars, they all said the lock screen notifications actually function now, although Lars still said you have to whitelist apps. So, it sounds like we're getting there. It's one of those things I should try again, but with Huawei's issues in the US, like, because we really just do US phones, it's tough for me to, if they make a return, maybe usually Honor announces something at CES. Maybe that'll be the time that I take them for a spin again. Are you drinking kombucha?
Yeah, man, watermelon. It's terrible, but it's good for your tummy. Probiotics.
I drink kombucha every day, but I drink ginger turmeric.
Oh, yeah, that's a Brew Doctor one, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, see, that one's okay. I have never tried this watermelon hibiscus green tea one. It's too much like watermelon. I don't like drinking watermelon. I don't mind eating it. Don't like drinking it.
I'm with you on that. I just drink the ginger turmeric because it's really good for the old belly.
Yeah, now I'm just like, I don't even like kombucha really to begin with, so this is really tough for me. But
I'm a big kombucha fan, actually. Weirdly enough, it took me a long time. I'm definitely like new to the kombucha game within the last probably like year and a half. I know there's like some old school booch drinkers.
Old school booch drink. Doubt if any of those people are in our chat right now. Does anyone here drink kombucha?
I feel like Ben Jacobs probably drinks kombucha. Oh, he says I drink water. Speaking of sometimes Crystal Light. Jesus. Speaking of Ben Jacobs, we brought up the phone that we totally overlooked. We're still talking about this, by the way. The Pixel 4a.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that phone's going to suck.
The Pixel 4a is going to be the phone. I can tell you right now. If they bring back
the fingerprint reader, things like that.
Put a fingerprint reader.
And they probably will, which makes Google's whole approach to this face stuff and all that really weird. I assume it's expensive to implement on a phone, right? Like they're not going to put that in the 4A. Maybe they will. I would
think not. Lars says it'll be bezels from hell. Possibly. I would think though with second generation version of 4A, they'll shrink down the bezel. It'll basically look more like like the Pixel 3. Like the 3A had bigger bezels than the 3, so I imagine we'll shrink down to maybe Pixel 3 size. I don't know. That phone will probably be something. The 3A was the phone that surprised me the most from the last year.
Totally.
And so if they continue that line, which I'm sure they will, because I think they actually sold quite a few of them. That will be actually a phone to look out for because you'll get camera experience. And I guess we'll see if they double up the cameras on it. Hopefully there's still a fingerprint reader. Hopefully
More
they do
RAM.
fun colors
guys-
this year. You know, like this is totally an Apple thing. You know, like Apple with its cheapest version of its whatever phone they're selling, they always throw like the fun colors on it. They're like, our cheap phone is the fun one. I wish Google would do that. Like with the 4A, make a neon green and like a bright blue and like a red. Like do some fun. Don't do sort of purple or whatever the hell that thing was, which is the most interesting because it had a yellow button. Like that was why that was interesting.
Color I've ever seen.
Yeah, it probably was. I'm with you.
Give us the Google
looked.
colors. Give me red, green, blue, yellow.
I'd be fine with that.
Do something fun.
I'd like make it the fun phone. Don't make it the. It's the sort of fun. Make it the fun phone. So yeah, I would.
That's
I would
your
agree.
post right there.
The 4A.
Make Pixel 4a the fun phone.
I like it. Someone write that down. Okay, so speaking of next year in phones, Galaxy S11, just quickly, like the leaks are starting to flow out here about the 11, in particular, battery talk and camera talk. So battery talk is important just because, you know, we just ragged on the Pixel 4, which has like a 1400 milliamp hour battery. The S11 is said to have a 4000. Is that what it is? No, 4500. S11. 4,500 milliamp hour. That's bigger than the Pixel 4 XL, obviously. It's bigger than most phones, actually. The S11e, the smaller guy, 3,800, 3,900, somewhere in there, milliamp hour battery. That's huge. That's bigger than the 4 XL. And then you have Galaxy S11 Plus, possibly at 5,000 milliamp hour. So partly they're doing this because Qualcomm is a bunch of a-holes and forced them all to put 5G in these phones. And so these phones are going to be ginormous in size, even the E. And so they were able then to fit a bigger battery. So I'm not going to complain about the bigger battery thing. I'm just worried that all these phones are going to be excessive in size because 5G, and that's why they have giant batteries.
That's what people want.
I know. No, people want big batteries. I don't know that they want tablets in their pocket at all times.
They can't have, it's gotta be both. Can't just have one or the other.
It could have been both if we didn't have to put 5G probably and everything. On a related note, I can't remember if we talked about this last week or not, but Galaxy S11 camera system, we're looking at 108 megapixel sensor, which is not necessarily new. Xiaomi just released a phone with a 108 megapixel sensor. So what they'll do is it won't take 108 megapixel photos. We'll do little pixel binning action, right? But what is that? What's 108 divided by 4? Is that 26, 27?
I'm not a mathematician.
I think it's 27. We're going to go with 27. 27? Someone do the math on that.
Someone lock that.
So you'll end up with like 27 megapixel. Yeah, it's 27. 27 megapixel photos. So instead of 108, it'll do like a quad pixel technology is what we talk about these days. So that's crazy. 5 times optical zoom, which as someone who doesn't really care about telephoto lenses, 5x optical is that's pretty wild actually. Most phones are 2. Like the Pixel 4's is 2. So 5, that's actually kind of crazy. You'll be able to get some probably pretty incredible shots. We don't know resolution, I don't think, on that quite yet. And this report from Bloomberg last week, I think this happened like right after the show, so we might have talked about it a little bit. They said this new setup is also coming to the new Galaxy Fold, just FYI. So that's why we think that might be coming sooner than later. Anyway, fabulous talk there. Giant batteries, 5G, wild camera setups. Well, that's right. We were talking about the camera setup last week because we were doing this. We were like, imagine this thing over here and over here taking up half of the back of your phone. So anyway, that's fun.
Well, imagine an OG Droid on the back, and there's your camera setup, basically. That's how
yeah,
big
basically, that is it. That is it. Just briefly, over the weekend, OnLeaks dropped what he says are CAD renders of a OnePlus 8 Lite. Can we stop at the Lite thing? I know some companies actually do it. Yes, the LITE thing. It just sounds cheap, right? Like when the Pixel 3a was early in the leak season, we were calling it the Pixel 3 Lite. And there's like an S10 and a Note 10 Lite, I believe, on the way. They've showed up on like official Samsung sites. I think they're actually coming. It is the worst. Like nothing says here, buy the cheapest, most garbage version of your phone than putting Lite on the end of it. Come up with a different name. That's like when Google finally settled on Pixel 3a. I was like, Okay, that's fine. Because if you called it the Pixel 3 Lite, I was going to tell you that your phone is trash. Like, just don't do that. Just call it something unique. Like OnePlus 8 Lite, and that's not official. That's OnLeaks calling it that. Let's just call it the OnePlus 8E or something. Can we do that? Can we do? Yeah, it sounds like a bad beer. That's right. Can we just not do the light thing?
I think I'm totally with you on that. I'm kind of with Eclipse in the chat who says, I think Pro is being overused.
Oh, yes.
I agree with that too. Yeah, not a huge fan of the Pro.
Well, Apple kind of ruined everything about the term Pro. Because in the last year, they called everything Pro.
Yeah.
And it just, it's a bit much. It doesn't need to be Pro. Just make your good phone. And then if there is one that has like a whole separate set of features that are fully maxed out, sure, slap a little Pro tag on there. But come on,
Pro tag?
Like the OnePlus 7T Pro 5G at T-Mobile. Like, come on, OnePlus.
MacBook Pro.
It's just ridiculous.
A lot of
anyway,
pros in this
mid-range
world,
OnePlus phone sounds, a lot of fun. We haven't seen a mid-range OnePlus since OnePlus X, which is a phone that I believe you reviewed. Cute little guy. No LTE really.
LTE.
Didn't sell
Ceramic.
in the US. Yes, ceramic.
I think it was hot.
It was a nice little. That was probably the last mini phone you used. Was probably that guy.
Might be.
Did not sell well. Probably because they forgot to put LTE in it.
Yeah, when they forgot about the U.S. market, right? I mean, it was just. It just wasn't designed for us, so it's just fine. I mean, we already had like pretty darn like inexpensive OnePlus phones in our market anyway. That was back when OnePlus phones were still like $299. So
yeah. I looked and that phone was $249 for the X, which is so cheap. I don't remember what it had for storage. It was probably like 16 gig or something.
Well, I mean 32 or something, but it was still like the hardware was so clean. It was ceramic. It was small, but it was heavy. It was very similar to the Essential phone. It was great in one hand, but it had a little stockiness to it. It felt super tough.
It was a sweet little phone.
Yeah.
Let's see. RCS news. Big RCS news this week. Google says they have fully rolled out and made available to all users in the US
Go away,
rich
RCS.
communication services, aka the chat. Yeah, watermelon that does not sound good. I mean,
That's awful.
The hibiscus and the green tea, little bitterness probably, but the sweet. I'm with you. Liquid watermelon. Liquid watermelon.
Booch.
Not great.
Ace. Yeah.
So RCS, RCS is one of those weird subjects for you and I, because we're Google Voice users. And so we don't, I mean, the thing is with Google Voice, we've been able to send higher resolution images over Google Voice, I believe, for a long time, sort of. Don't we get that? I don't even know. But so you and I, we can't participate in the RCS thing because we use Google Voice. That said, I'm glad that everyone else can finally get there. I am not quite sure that now that it's here, anyone knows what to do. Because you have to have Google Messages, number one. You have to have, an update to a couple of things in the background. You can get it. Doesn't matter what Android phone in the US you have. Just install Google Messages and then look up carrier services. If your phone should have carrier services, but update that. And then you can have it. But you have to, you have to talk your friends into all your Samsung friends. You have to talk them into downloading Google Messages. If you have a friend with a OnePlus phone or an LG phone or some Motorola mid-ranger, actually Motorola's phones might have messages by default. But yeah, you have to have all these people do that. And then once they do, it just kind of turns on. And it should be great. You get an extra special blue color and things like that. Yeah, it feels like it's here now finally, and it should be very exciting, but it's like, again, it's too late. You know, there's obviously the iMessage crowd, but because messaging on Android has been so crappy for so long, like I keep seeing people are mentioning Hangout still, and you and I use that, but I've seen like somebody mentioned Textra and like, what's Signal? A lot of people use that. What's the other one you said you tested briefly? Telegram. People are using that. There's Facebook Messenger. I mean, there's so many because Google couldn't get it together to create the one and only whatever. I mean, they had it with Hangouts and then, hired somebody who created Allo and screwed everything up. And so because they're so late, like no one really cares. I mean, it's text messaging, and a whole bunch of people still text message in the US. I know they don't in the rest of the world, I don't think. But so the people who do still text, great, except none of them have this app. So it's just, it's classic Google. So
classic
upset
Goog
about it.
Yeah, I mean Facebook. A lot of family now are even using Facebook. A lot of my girlfriend's family, who some of them are international, it's just easy for them just to use Facebook. My sister, who's lived in Germany forever, it's just Facebook is just there for everybody, and everyone's got the same apps, and it just works. So
I mean, that's what my wife uses. She uses Facebook Messenger for messaging because she filters her text messages through it because it picked up SMS integration a long time ago. It's so funny, like Facebook, who I can't stand, they added SMS integration, and Google's like, we're gonna take this out of Hangouts, which was the weirdest thing ever. Well, Facebook's like, no, we wanted this app to be everything, and Google went, no, let's take SMS out of Hangouts and create another app called Allo that doesn't even have SMS integration. That's the move. Like, that is the move. Facebook went, what? You should put these things together so everyone can use one. Like, it's just so stupid. Anyway, that's what she uses for business stuff or personal stuff. Like, it's all there because she knows a bunch of people who have Facebook Messenger, and then her text messaging is in there.
Yeah. Spam F fake book in the chat, please. Because, no one actually likes Facebook, but they have a decent messaging platform.
The messaging platform is actually good. I wouldn't.
Yeah, but seriously, Facebook.
Let's see. All right, you reviewed a couple products this week.
Oh yeah.
The Nest Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi's, and Lenovo Smart Display 7, which I don't think people knew existed. Which one you want to talk about?
I could talk about Nest Wi-Fi first. Fantastic little product. I've had Google Wi-Fi in my house since that was first released. And, you just sort of, you hook it up, set it up through the app, and it just sort of works. Before that, back when I had like a regular kind of router and modem, a single router, not mesh, that would just sort of sit in my office. It was, my signal sucks downstairs, what have you, because everything's up here in the office. And I finally got that Google Wi-Fi and the mesh system. I got a point up here, point downstairs, and it's just sort of worked. And Nest Wi-Fi is just it's a nice little upgrade from that. Really not too much has changed, a little internal tech-wise, specs-wise. I haven't really noticed anything huge. But they did add the Google Assistant and like sort of a Nest second generation speaker into your secondary Wi-Fi points. The router system does not have one, I assume, because this one has actual ports on it and needs room for all that internal stuff.
Right.
Really weird. Like Google does some weird stuff, but when it comes to like its network hardware, very peculiar.
Yes.
And no, it's not Wi-Fi 6 compliant. To talk about that in the review. So Nest Wi-Fi, while it is great, if you're like a mesh newbie, or say you just you're not a network IT nerd, like I know, some people are. No offense to IT nerds. We love IT nerds. I'm just saying, I'm not one of them, and I can barely understand the stuff. So great for newbies and great for people who really just want to set something up and leave it. And, and then it just sort of works. You can handle everything through the app. I've had to deal with Google, the Nest Wi-Fi support people, Google support people. I always had a pleasant experience. So you've got 24/7 customer support, which I appreciate. Say if I'm buying this for my mom, it's good for her too. She's going to need help. But no future proofing. So no Wi-Fi 6 protocol. Wi-Fi 6 is supposed to just it's be a very good step forward for Wi-Fi and devices that support it. So not future-proof in that regard. I assume there will be a Wi-Fi 6 variant here in the future, couple of years down the road. It'll probably be more expensive, but Google mentioned that, well, Wi-Fi 6 adoption isn't huge right now, not a lot of devices supporting it, so we figured we'd just leave it off. The problem is I see this as sort of the chicken before the egg. What came first? If there's no Wi-Fi 6 Nest Wi-Fi, then I say as a phone buyer, I'm not going to be inclined to buy a phone that supports Wi-Fi 6 because I can't even use it at home. So I, maybe next year with the Pixel 5, whatever.
They have to, yeah.
Maybe we'll see some Wi-Fi 6, and then another year down the road, we're going to get the Nest Wi-Fi featuring Wi-Fi 6. So
the Snapdragon 865 supports Wi-Fi 6. I'd imagine they're all just going to have it this year.
yeah, just like the 5G. So, and as Ben Jacobs says, but Wi-Fi 6 and 5G are going to kill us with all the radiation.
Probably.
Nope, he's absolutely right. This is not sarcasm, people. You got to wake up, grab your brush and put a little makeup. So, great little product. I like it just because, again, like I said, I'm not very hip on the networking stuff. So I can just set something up via an app, and it just works. And the mesh, capabilities work just fine. I'm seeing solid speeds even when I go downstairs, even though I have a modem that's not necessarily compatible with my gig internet from my internet service provider. I still get really good speeds. So yeah,
we gotta upgrade that.
Yeah, we gotta upgrade that. So yeah, Nest Wi-Fi. If you don't care, even though you should care about Wi-Fi 6, if you don't necessarily care right now, and you just want to get some mesh, I would probably tell you to go buy the older Google Wi-Fi and save some money. But Nest Wi-Fi is cool if you need sort of the Google Assistant integration inside your secondary Wi-Fi points. So there's that. Let me drink some kombucha.
Yeah,
oh, that's disgusting.
I tested Nest Wi-Fi for a couple of weeks as well. I'm not using it. I'm an IT nerd, but when it comes to like networking, I want hardware that gives me, because I also have gig internet and I actually have a modem that can support that. And so I like, if I'm paying for those speeds, like I want those speeds. And so Nest Wi-Fi, just like Google Wi-Fi, it can't even push, like it maxes like, so the Nest Wi-Fi router, the new one, not the point, the router, it's like AC 2200, which means like across the two, because it's only dual band, I think 2 channel something. That's 2.2 gig it could possibly push across that, which is like a combined, like it can't do the speeds I want. So when I set up in my house, and the initial setup, I did like a router, and then I took a second router and hooked it up, because the point is AC 1200, which is even slower and crappy. So I just wasn't getting speeds that I wanted everywhere. And I've tested a bunch. Like I used Eero Pro for a long time. Eero Pro is probably my favorite mesh Wi-Fi system. Simple setup, also a great app. Decent speeds. Like that's actually a good setup. And they have little dongles you can just stick in outlets, which are cool. I've used Lynx's VLOP, one of their tri-band mesh systems. Very fast, stupid expensive, I think, compared to like Google Wi-Fi, even Eero, I think. So that was super expensive. And now I'm just on a single giant, really ugly Wi-Fi 6 TP-Link thing that looks like one of those stupid spider things.
TP.
That said, it's Wi-Fi 6. So like my Galaxy S10e, if I'm sitting in this room and I do a speed test, I can get like 700 down. Like it's kind of nuts. And this thing is powerful enough that if I'm upstairs in the back bathroom, it'll even over 2.4 I get decent speeds, and then over 5 gigahertz I get still like well over 100 down. I mean, like, but I'm that guy. Like, so I wouldn't buy Nest Wi-Fi, but I'm that like guy that there's memes about that's like, I need the fastest home Wi-Fi ever. Like I'm that dude. So if you're that dude, don't buy Nest Wi-Fi. If you're the person who just needs good Wi-Fi throughout a house that needs probably more than one point, it's totally great. Like it was easy to set up. It looks really sleek. I like the hardware of the Nest Wi-Fi. And then, yeah, if you need some Nest Minis around, because, yeah, the points are the exact hardware of the new Nest Mini. They just also happen to do Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Nest Wi-Fi. Just, I need speed guy.
I can appreciate that.
Wasn't getting the speeds. I did see Nick Fisher mentioned IT nerd here. Drives me nuts that my family just wants to stick with the stock Verizon router. Yeah, just general advice to everyone: buy your own modem. Go on Amazon, buy your own modem. You don't have to buy a gig modem. Just get whatever one Tim has. It's probably like $40 now, and it will replace the one, so you can stop paying the rental cost of your modem to whoever company you're renting your current modem from, the $5 or $6 to $10 a month. Don't do that. Just buy your own modem. Super easy to set up. You might have to make one call to them and have them, ping it real quick to make sure it works. That's it. And then, yes, buy your own router. Do not ever rent the one from whoever. Not good. Just throwing money away, people. Throwing it away.
Don't throw money away.
Yeah, just don't do that. Brandon says
Okay.
modem is free from Spectrum. Spectrum really isn't charging you. Usually they always charge you like anywhere from like $2 to $10 monthly rental fee on that stuff. If not, that's great. Anyway, okay, that's Wi-Fi. Done.
Excellent. Lenovo Smart Display 7. So a follow-up to, what was that, last year we got those smart displays?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the smart display was 8 and 10, I believe. Great little devices. This one, it's also cool. As long as listening to music very loudly isn't what you're into. I like technical death metal, and I was listening to the new Cattle Decapitation album. Sounded terrible. Sounded super thinny, and there's hardly any bass at all. And then, just the way my kitchen is set up, 7 inches, not sure if that's necessarily a large enough display, I would say. And I was in Best Buy the other day, and the first time I saw the Nest Home Max in person, I was like, okay, now
boy.
I was like, that's a good size right there. Like, that's what you want in the kitchen, because a lot of people say they've got their like a little baby TV kind of hung up somewhere, so mom can watch the football game or the Nutcracker or whatever she does when she's in there whipping up the dinner.
Nutcracker.
Well, it's that time of year. Some people watch the Nutcracker.
It is.
So I would just take that TV down. You got the YouTube TV streaming to the 10-inch monitor at Nest Home Max. So that's what I want for Christmas. Back to the Lenovo Smart Display, though. Solid little device. I really appreciate the changes that not only Lenovo but Google have done to that platform, right? That Google Assistant kind of OS. You got great smart home controls. I love, just having it go and showing me like a live photo album from my Google Photos. You attach that. I'm like, okay, show me pictures of me, my girlfriend, my family. That's nice. See pictures of the dogs. Have a smile on your face every time you pass by it. Kitchen timers and recipes. This is obviously really big, especially if you have it in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, yeah.
Yeah, you just set a timer on a smart speaker. Obviously, there's no display to see how much time is left. So I've already cut down how many times I've had to talk to my Google Assistant by half.
There are a few things more frustrating than setting a timer on just a speaker and then constantly having to go, hey, what's the timer at? And then it tells you, especially like if you're setting like a 2-minute timer or 3-minute, like, oh, it's the worst. So anyways, yes.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. So it's been nice to have a little display. This is my first smart display in the kitchen. I had one of the older Lenovo ones just in the office so I could stream whatever I wanted to it. And that one works great. Hardware-wise, it's pretty cool. It looks a lot like a Nest product because Lenovo took away that bamboo backside on those first iterations of the smart displays. I thought were very awesome. It was a very nice touch, and you could pretty much put that throughover in the house. This one, it's just gray cloth on the bottom, white back. I mean, very plain, pretty cheap.
It's the cloth thing. That's very Google-esque.
It's very Google-esque, and I say rather, pretty cheap, but it's also currently $99. So $99, you're getting a 7-inch display. I mean, it's a cool little product. If you don't have a smart display already and you want a pretty affordable option, there's still the Nest Home, which is I think down to like $79, and you get a Nest Mini with it, or a Google Home Mini first gen. I can't remember which.
Something like that, yeah.
That's a pretty solid package. I would almost go that package versus the $99 Lenovo. However, both audio systems aren't ideal if you're really into music. So it's a decent little thing. Read the full review if you're super interested. You're probably not super interested because who would be? I mean, it's just a little smart display. It's nothing crazy, but it's a cool little device. So
yeah, Nest Hub in any color you want is $79, and they give you the Nest Mini, so the new Nest.
Oh,
if you buy it from the Google store. I think Best Buy is doing
it. It's like a $45 value. How much are those new Nest Minis?
50. Well, they're normally $50. They've been discounted. Normally $50. They're discounted, and then the Nest Hub's $50 off right now too. So for $79, you can get both of those. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's probably the deal to get right now.
I'd say so too. Yes,
But you
so,
can
so I
still-
have the 10-inch, the original Lenovo smart display. I have the 10-inch in my kitchen, so I'm with you because I know I have the bigger screen. It's nice in the kitchen because usually you tuck it in a corner far enough away from sink and stove and stuff, but you also want to be able to see it from across the kitchen. It's not like my kitchen's big, but like even if you're like from one counter to the next, like that can be if it's tiny. So yeah, and I want a Nest Home Hub Max, whatever the hell it's called in there. But like these things, like, you know, you don't need to really replace them very often unless you like spill oil on them and they blow up. But
don't do that.
Yeah, the Lenovo Smart Display 7 to me, looking from the outside, looks nice. Looks like a nice little unit. But yeah, that's going to be a hard recommendation at a higher price than Google's Home Hub because they're kind of the same. Google's Home Hub, probably a little smaller of an overall package too, and you get free Nest Minis and stuff. It looks nice. I mean, good job, Lenovo. I'm glad they're still doing it because at this point,
that's it.
In the smart display arena, why is anyone making them as a third-party person? Like if you're Lenovo, if you're JBL, like remember JBL made one? I don't know that anyone talks about that thing anymore. Who else made one? LG sort of made one for a hot minute. Like people are just going to go buy the Nest versions because they're the version. Like, I don't know why you would, if we're comparing these two, like what does this 7 offer over the Nest Hub? Anything? It doesn't, right? And you just assume that if you have the one made by Google, support could be better during the long term, things like that. If there's new features, there's a chance it gets it first. I find it a little odd that there's still third-party smart displays. Again, I'm all for choice. I just don't know why you would choose some of these third parties over the ones that Google's selling.
Well, I think third parties can at least focus on things that they're good at. Lenovo, I mean, like, no offense to Lenovo, I just don't know exactly what they specialize in. Where
That's true.
Let's say Lars in the chat says, hey, I have 3 JBL Link Views and the sound is really good. Yeah. So you get a smart display from a maker who specializes in audio, or get one from a maker who specializes in a 4K display or something like that. So, you know, there is reason, I think, for the options, but at least considering the Lenovo one, there's not really to weigh you towards the Lenovo versus what's ever coming from Nest.
Yeah, so I guess if you can use it, to do something special. So yeah, JBL, they're known for sound. So that one probably sounds better than just about any of the other ones. This Lenovo one and that LG one that I still have no idea the name. Even Sony was gonna make one, I think, at one point, and then just backed out. Those guys aren't doing anything unique other than changing sizes for Lenovo. So yeah, if you're gonna make one, it's gotta do something cool. Like Samsung could make one. I know they still think Bixby's a thing, but like they could make one and it could be AKG powered, right? And maybe they do something else with it. Maybe it has Bixby and Google in it. I have no idea if Google would allow that.
Oh, it'd be a fight.
It would be. But yeah, so it kind of makes sense if you have a specific use, whereas this one, I don't know.
Yeah, shout out to Brandon Fisher who says, you guys review stuff people don't care about. and that's what I appreciate about you.
Sometimes we haven't reviewed a Sony phone in a while.
Ooh, no. You're gonna love what I've got cooking up for next week. I've got a I don't know. Hey, you know what? I don't even think I want to spoil it. Never mind. You don't get to know.
Spoil it.
But yeah, I got a whole bunch of worthless crap I have to review. For this
have to review. I love that.
Well, not have to, but I want to, because, you know, sometimes you not only have to review the good stuff, but the stuff you're like, people shouldn't buy this.
Yeah.
So you just got to do what you got to do.
Work that way. All right. Any other topics?
Well, I just wanted to give a shout out to the OG Droid.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This bad boy is 10 years old as of this past October.
I can't believe it.
And much like the OG Droid, we are celebrating our 10th birthday as well. And speaking of which, you know, next week it's going to be a very special show with a lot of special prizes. I think people are going to be blown away by what we've got. It's not a Cybertruck and not a $50,000 MacBook Pro either.
I mean, I wish it could be. It's not really Android related. Yeah, OG Droid, 10 years old, over 10 years old now.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to write like a story about it.
How you bought your droid or why you bought
Well, yeah,
it.
because I've talked about it on the air. I think a couple times, like shared the story of how I like got lucky basically in stumbling into being able to buy one. I don't know if I ever actually put it down in blogo format. So maybe we'll do that next week or something. Because yeah, as you mentioned, 10-year anniversary of that, which means 10-year anniversary of Droid Life. So yeah, we're gonna do sort of a end of the year 10-year celebratory. We're just gonna give a bunch of shit away. I'm not gonna lie. We're assembling a prize list that is
Unprecedented.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So what the plan is, we're about to do trivia, but so that's why we're talking about this now as the sort of final topic here. We will we'll do a show, probably normal time again, probably right around the noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And I have no idea what we'll talk about.
Probably not much.
We might reminisce a little, but we'll give away some stuff. Like there could be lots of trivia questions. I mean, we're not talking just 5 trivia questions for next week. We're talking, I don't know, 15 at least, maybe more.
It's going to be more like 25.
Oh, maybe
it's going to be something
25?
Intense.
Rashad says, don't mention it beyond the show. Yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, like in times like that last year we did that one show where we gave away 5 1+60s or whatever we did. Do you remember that? Yeah. And we didn't really promote it because we just kind of wanted to give back to all the homies like you guys that hang out like on every show. Like a good group of you in the chat is here every single week with us. And so we often, when we do this, I mean, I think we'll tell everyone it's like our 10th anniversary show sort of thing because, we want people to still know and maybe they'll tune in and hang out with us going forward or something. But we'll, I don't know if we'll have any guest spots of like Ron or Eric or anybody. Might just be us, but and you and all of you. And we're just gonna give away a bunch of stuff. Yeah, see, Jackson won a 60. That's right, it was a 60. Who remembers Android Life? Android Life. That's right.
It was yellow.
It was yellow.
Android Life.
Yeah. So anyway, it's like trivia time now. But yeah, so next week, normal time-ish, we're just gonna do a celebratory show and just give stuff away. All right, it's trivia time. I remember when Kellen didn't even show his face. Yeah, it was a long time. Funny story about that real quickly. So when I first started the site, I was like, I don't want to put myself really out. I just want to talk tech and all this stuff. And so like there was no picture of me anywhere, right? Like no one really knew who the hell I was. And I got invited to this event that Adobe was putting on. And this was like the first year, I think. I think it was in San Francisco, yeah. So Adobe hosts this event and I'm like, oh, it's my first like work event related to this. I'm pretty sure I'd quit my other job at that point. And so I was like, cool, let's go. And I get there to the hotel and stuff. And like everyone that was invited to this thing was all staying there. And I think I got in that night or something late enough, went to bed, got up the next morning and everyone was meeting in the lobby. And I went down there and I was like I recognized some of the people. They were other Android bloggers that you'd seen. And I was like, hey guys. And they were all like, who the hell is this dude? And like I had to introduce myself and they were like, oh, you're the dude who like doesn't show his face ever. And then like I met the Adobe guy, and he like I talked to him quite a bit and he was like, it's so weird. Like we've known who you are this whole time, but like no one has seen your face. Like what the hell? And I was like, I don't know. It's just like I just wanted it to be about the site, not me. It's just very weird. Anyway.
Yeah. I appreciate that you didn't make it about yourself. A lot of people, they can, they can make it. Well, you're not an influencer, right? See, now if you were an influencer, things would be a bit different. But you're not an influencer, or else your face would be on everything, and you'd be, oh my god, it's the most amazing thing ever. Anyway,
this right here,
yeah, dude,
like that's it, right?
Goldie. Yep. I'm the captain now. I'm the influencer now.
Love you, YouTubers. Love you. All right, it's trivia time. Time.
Stand you people.
Let's do trivia. All right, if you're new around here at the end of every show, we do trivia. We have 5 questions. We put the question up. Tim also reads it aloud. If you are live in the chat on the YouTubes, you type the answer as fast as you can. If you are right and you are the first on our screen as we see the answers roll in, we will shout your name out. You win a prize. Again, this week, hold on, I have a cat jumping through. Watch he'll turn the stream off as he walks across. You know what he does? You know, speaking of the mega router that I have, it's hot, so he sleeps on it.
Oh, that can't be good for cats.
Well, yeah, it's, you know,
the Wi-Fi
pure radiation, but it's warm. He thinks it's really, really warm. Xavier, it's not Batum, it's Rogers. I'd grab him, but I will totally like disconnect everything. I'm gonna grab him. And then we'll do trivia. All right, so trivia, $10 Google Play credit to everyone this week.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. Look at
There's
this kitty.
Rogers.
Look at this kitty.
What is it? It is. He is a very sweet cat.
This is Rogers.
Named after the elite
Aaron Rodgers.
starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, my wife is a Green Bay Packers fan. I do not care at all about the Packers, but it's kind of a cute cat name.
He kind of looks like Aaron Rodgers.
Look at his little smushy Persian face. Oh, you want to talk? All right, I'll put that.
All right.
Go get on your heater. All right. Oh yeah, he totally just tried to take a screenshot. There we go. Trivia. So yeah, 5 questions, 5 winners, $10 Google Play credit, everyone.
All right. I'm again, this is the Apple edition. So I don't know if you guys follow me on the old Twitter, but I'd like to give a little hint as to what you can expect from the old trivia. So let's go ahead and let's all hope that everyone knows their Apple and iPhone trivia. Suckers.
Yep. It's super easy.
It's not too hard.
Think? It's not that hard at all.
Nah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and kick it off with question number 1, please.
All right. Question number 1 is up now.
What was the first iPhone to feature 4G LTE? Again, what was the first iPhone to feature 4G LTE? Boom, Nick Fisher. With the correct answer of the iPhone 5. Nick Fisher. Man, congratulations. Jeez, that was quick.
That was quick. The iPhone 5. Yeah, they skipped right the 4 and 4S or something because they were like, LTE's not ready. They were right, but probably right, I think.
They were kind of right. So,
but what's so funny about that is they held off, and then remember Google came back with the Nexus 4 and was like, it's not ready, and like everyone else is putting it in. Then the Nexus 4 didn't.
That was good times.
Who won that? Nick Fisher. Good job, Nick Fisher.
Nick Fisher, the legend. Dude's a straight winner.
He does win a lot.
All right. Oh, he says listening to the Verge cast this morning and they mentioned it, so it was in my head. That's interesting.
That is interesting. Huh.
All right.
It's probably
why
10
they were
years
talking
old.
about it.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, probably.
It's not.
Well, nah.
It's probably like 8. Right, 8.
All right. Congratulations, Nick. Question number 2, please.
Question number 2 is up now.
What city is home to Apple's World HQ headquarters? Again, what city is home to Apple's World HQ? Soccer Burn 55 with the correct
Some people
answer.
had that queued up.
I would hope so. I mean, say, come on. You know, Tim's questions aren't all that hard.
Well, people were guessing it for the first one, so people had that one ready.
Good. Soccer Burn. Congratulations, Soccer Burn. Correct answer of Cupertino, California.
Bertino.
Oh, Ben Jacobs says, my stream is lagging. Oh, no. No soup for you. All right.
Router. Get a Nest Wi-Fi.
Seriously. Question number 3, please.
Question number 3 is up now.
At what event in 2007 did Steve Jobs unveil the first iPhone? Again, at what event in 2007 did Steve Jobs unveil the first iPhone? Jay Rusuelo, Macworld. Yep, correct answer of Macworld, not WWDC.
Not Dub.
Not MWC, not CES.
Macworld, which like long. When did Macworld cease to exist?
It was
How long after that?
It wasn't long after.
Right.
Macworld.
Jay Rasuelo. Wade County, pretty close there with Macworld also, but yep. Macworld.
Jay. Whoop, whoop. All right. A lot of people with that right answer. Good job, guys. Burning Man. Yeah. All right. This one could be considered difficult. Correct spelling, not too important for this one, but we shall see. We'll see how bad it is.
Yeah.
Question number 4, please.
Question number 4 is up now.
Owners of the iPhone 4 who held the phone a certain way would fall victim to which gate controversy? Owners of the iPhone 4 who held the phone a certain way would fall victim to which gate controversy? Oh, yeah, baby. Look at all these people. They know what I'm talking about. So,
Eddie?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Eddie Daniels, correct and proper spelling of antenna. Antenna gate. Love it.
Antenna gate was a pretty fun time. People just holding the phone, like squeezing it really hard. They're like, watch the signal drop. And they're like straining. Look, it's losing signal.
Poor guys.
You're holding it wrong.
Probably just don't hold it
that was the birth of you're holding it wrong, right? Where Apple's like, you're just holding your phone wrong, homie. And everyone's like, what? Holding it, dude.
Okay, now this one could also be difficult too. What was that?
Squeezing. Antenna gate. It was really like people just holding down the bottom going, look, losing signal.
Well, they had to like hold it like at the top too, though, right? Like it was something, it's like you would never hold your phone like that. And Steve knew that. Mr. Jobs was smart. He's like, people don't actually hold their phone like that, right?
People don't hold that. You guys with your Hummer phones, Droid X's.
I really miss Steve Jobs. I think the world would probably be a better place if he was still around.
He probably would have made something cool. If anything, he would have just kept up the trash talking, which is, you know,
fine with me.
I can appreciate at least the trash talking.
Yep. All right. Final question. We got one more sweet prize to give away. $10 Google Play credit. Oh, I'm so excited.
I did not know the answer to this one at all.
Oh, yeah. No, this is not easy. This is the hardest one for sure. So good luck.
Question number 5 is up now.
What time is shown on the clock in nearly all Apple advertising and marketing and everything? What time is shown on the clock in nearly all Apple advertising? Eli Kuznikov, the man, the myth, the legend, with
no one else has got the. Oh yeah, there's
9:41. I see Dan Perkins got it. Quad speed close.
9:41. Did they really put that on everything? I have no idea. And is there a meaning behind 9:41? I seriously
there's
do not
a meaning
know this.
for everything Apple does. So it's the time where, say, you know, their announcement is going to happen, and then that's when commercials will start going live around 9:41. So that's just why. It used to be 9:42, and then they're like, nah, I think we can do 9:41. Kuznikov, Eli, congratulations. So we've got our 5 winners. You guys are awesome.
Probably a garage address.
You guys handled Apple Edition very well. We got Nick Fisher, Soccerburn 55, Jay Rasuelo, Eddie Daniels, and Eli Kuznikov. Winners, please email me. I'll get you out your Google Play credit. And I want everyone here next week because I would hate to have to keep some of our amazing prizes. Yeah, I'm really excited for next week. It's going to be awesome.
It should be a good show, yeah. We really do. We're trying to put together just a big list of prizes. It's probably not going to be any sort of normal-ish show. We might talk about 2 different things, and then we're just going to run through trivia and BS with you guys, and then give some stuff away, and then BS some more, and give some more stuff away. Oh, yeah, let's give some stuff away. It's the holiday season.
It is. We'll shoot for 12. Let these folks know exactly when to expect us here.
Yeah. Probably be around there. Gary the fireman with $5. Have a happy and safe weekend and F cancer. You too, Gary. Happy and safe weekend. Especially if you're still a fireman, Gary. Dangerous job, my guy. Appreciate it though.
We do appreciate you.
Yes. Got a buddy trying to become a fireman, actually. I think he's starting out as a paramedic until he can get in to be a fireman.
Nice.
Firemen are People that are firemen are beasts, by the way. The stuff they got to go through.
I do like the firemen, although I like cops. I have more family as cops than firemen, so I feel like I just have to be team policeman. But I love all of our service people.
For sure. 100%.
You don't see me out there. I can't talk smack. Anyway.
Yeah, Trevor, you missed trivia. You sure did. But we were just talking about next week's show. Next week's show, more of a celebratory 10-year show where we're just probably going to give away a bunch of stuff. So be sure to be on time next week, Trevor. Probably noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Probably that's kind of like our normal time. I know we switch it up, but we're going to shoot for normal time. So that'd be a good time. Quad Speed says Xbox thoughts. Did you see at least the commercial for the new Xbox?
Yeah, I saw that.
But they didn't tell us anything really. Right?
No, they gave us no details. Typical Xbox.
Big black rectangular box thing.
I bought. I feel dumb because I bought the Xbox One X, and I feel like I was hardly justified in that purchase, and I don't know. Like I just I hate this, like the state of video games right now, and maybe that's just because nothing's really out that I'm like totally in love with. I really want a new Fallout game that's not multiplayer. That would be like my favorite thing. But other than that, I'm just sort of, it looks like a big PC box. I don't know, where the heck am I going to put that thing? I have no idea. So
yeah, because it's so square. Like at least the current Xbox, well, for a couple of years have at least been thin enough that you could stand them, slide them into a space, whatever. This thing is a weird shape, and they clearly wanted to stand upright. And yeah, I don't know.
Why does it have a disk drive?
Mine is tucked down here by my computer, like next to it, standing up, right? Because then it's like slim enough. I have a 1S because I bought it late, and you were like, "Yeah, you probably should buy the cheap thing because a new one's coming." Yeah, but it like slides and sneaks into a slot. I don't have to see the damn thing. This thing, like, I don't know that I want my Xbox on display at all time, but whatever. It is what it is, I guess. We don't know enough about it to know if we get excited. It's probably gonna be stupid expensive because it'll be new, and basically, as everyone keeps saying in the chat, it's just a PC. It kind of
more looking forward to the PlayStation than the Xbox these days. But yeah, no matter what, it's not going to compare to Stadia, as Xavier says. Stadia has one, apparently.
Stadia has one.
So apparently they were doing like a lot of commercials or whatever for Stadia last night during the Game Awards. And people on Twitter were just like ripping, like actual gamers were just ripping on Stadia. You know, people who haven't played Stadia, they just know that it's crap. They haven't even needed to try it.
Yeah.
Man, I am with those people because I finally got
now. I
finally got my Stadia controller. Been playing the 4 games that they give you. I finally got it. It totally sucked. There was like this input lag I could not figure out. And then thankfully, someone on the old Twitter sphere just said, "Oh, just put your TV in game mode." I was like, "Are you serious? Like it's going to be that easy?" Yeah. Put it in game mode. Boom. Like it was like I could actually play Destiny 2. And I was like, this is stupid. Like,
this seems very complex. You also had issues just pairing it because that process can be kind of a pain too.
Yeah, well, it's very confusing, right? Sometimes you need to have your phone connected if you're playing on the phone, but if you're just playing on the TV, you need the Wi-Fi connected to the controller. Like, what? So, other than that, the gameplay is fine if those are games you want to play. Yeah. I don't want to play those games. Like those games, in my mind, are not great. Destiny 2 is not very good. Like you run around and it takes 5 hours to kill a guy. Like that
doesn't sound that fun.
That's boring, dude. So boring. And like the original Destiny I thought was awesome. I had a lot of fun. Destiny 2 was not the one. Tomb Raider, I'm not interested. Samurai Showdown, I'm not interested. Farming Simulator, believe me, like I tried it. Me and my girlfriend, we thought we'd get a laugh.
Did try it? Yeah.
We tried it out for 10 minutes. She's like trying to steer the tractor. And so we're just laughing because like, we're like, who plays this? I understand a lot of people do. It's just not my kind of game. Like I don't smoke like an ounce of marijuana and then go, I'm time to farm. Like I just don't. And I assume that's what you have to do to get in the right mindset to like sit there and be like, okay, time to plant seeds and harvest my wheat. And I'm like, dude. That's just me though. So
yeah, Stadia's just not for you. It's not for you, and it's probably not for me.
It just
I
needs
guess
the
that could change depending on the games. Yeah.
Totally.
Right now the games are just not for me, which we've talked about quite a bit. But if there's a game that I like, it could be fun. Should I travel? I can bring a little controller with, hook up some Wi-Fi, play. It totally makes sense.
Accessibility.
But yeah, we just got to work on the games.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see if NVIDIA announces anything for GeForce Now here at CES. NVIDIA always makes some sort of announcements during CES. Like they're like the last company that we care about to actually do stuff there. So that'll be cool.
Got to do some GeForce Now stuff.
Yeah. So I'll be interested. And, of course, once Stadia is such a beta. Like, don't let Google fool you guys. Like, it is a beta. It's like late alpha, early beta. I mean, it's not on Android TV. It just doesn't, all this stuff is coming. This is so Minecraft, this is all coming. It's going to be awesome, but it's just way down the road. And even in the app, they're like, okay, here's this feature. Oh, but it's not available. It's coming. It's in development. Blah, blah, blah. Man, it's such a beta. And you're paying these poor pro people who bought into this. Oh, bless their hearts.
Yes, Tim really likes Stadia. If you can't tell, he's a big fan.
I wish that I think it could be awesome a couple of years, from now. But it's Google even going to pour that much resources into it. I wish they would have just waited for it to be like a full service. And I get it. That's probably hard and would take a long time, but that's just my opinion.
They need to throw the billions around to just immediately add like 200 games to the catalog.
Totally.
I know we have a list of what's coming, and it's only, what is it, like 22, 30 games? It's not that long of a list, and the list is not that great.
Well, what's the difference between this and what NVIDIA does? So NVIDIA can access basically anything that's on Steam. All the big games on Steam is what you can get with NVIDIA. So why can't Google do that?
All of that on the back end probably won't work properly to get the latency and all that stuff that they want. I'm guessing they want to just have it be their own store, but they gotta do something. We can't just slowly roll out a bunch of old games. They need to do a big drop. Go, here's 100 games. Here they are. Here's all the Call of Duty, so I'll actually pay attention. Here's Madden. I don't know. They got to do something, right? Like they got to get some of the most popular games on the planet to be on there.
Freaking Soccer Manager or whatever. I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for any of that stuff. Mortal Kombat, $60. Get out of here.
Xavier says, thanks for the Fossil Gen 5 code. Great watch. That's right. Fossil Gen 5 right now. By the way, if you're still watching us and you're wondering why we're just rambling about weird things after trivia, sometimes we just do this for a couple minutes, just talk to chat about whatever they throw at us. Yeah, Fossil Gen 5. I know hot watch talk is always the best subject around here. It's $169 right now with a coupon code. So if you were interested in a smartwatch, that's what he's talking about. $169 on a watch that's normally $295. Just go do that. Do we own Shield TV? Yeah, we do own new Shield TV.
Yeah, I've got a new Shield TV. Absolutely love it.
Tim reviewed the cylindrical version if you want a review of it. I have the new Box Pro. It's the Pro. It's pretty much the same. It just does upscaling things that look nice.
Yes, Jay Rasuelo can confirm. Mortal Kombat 11, $60, $90 for the premium edition, and they even have the add-ons. How about $100 for and I get that like NBA 2K20, like the Legend Edition is $100, but it's just like you're paying for the accessibility, right? To play it on your phone. Like, why not a little discount on these games, man? Like, I would totally play Red Dead Redemption, but I don't want to spend $60. Like, maybe give me a $5 discount or something. I don't know. It sucks.
New Mandalorian episode already out, I believe. Actually, CNET already spoiled it for me. Thank you, CNET, for writing an entire article with a title that spoils Mandalorian episodes the minute that they drop. Appreciate that, CNET. Won't call the writer out by name, but it's it's in my Feedly. Just pops up. Mandalorian episode 6. Are we on episode 6?
Yeah.
And here's the subject of the show and also subtitle. Here's what happens. Like, bro, the episode dropped 2 seconds ago and you're spoiling the thing already, like in somebody's feed. You can't do that. You can't do that. It's amateur. Amateur.
Well, why don't you call them out? Stop subtweeting people and like actually do something.
I almost subtweeted, actually. Stopped myself and said, yeah, it's not really worth it. Thanks for stopping by, Tony.
Tony, we're
almost done. Yeah, 10 years. I know, crazy. Tony, I don't know if you missed it, but yeah, next week, big 10-year show. We're just giving stuff away. Sean Tillman said, wait, Kellen said Feedly. I have to use RSS.
We all use Feedly.
Yeah, well,
everyone in our industry uses Feedly.
Yeah, it's kind of all we got left after. It is still around. It's basically the RSS reader that you would use if you were using RSS still. I actually don't know how people get all of the news they want. I guess you could go in Google News and check like all of your favorite publications, but RSS is just an easy way to look at a whole bunch of stuff at once. RSS is great. Google Killing Reader was still one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, Feedly. Still use the Feedly. Anything else? Anything else?
I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend and be sure to tune in next week. I'm pumped.
It's gonna be a fun show. Just give a bunch of stuff away. I have the music playing in the background. I have no idea if people can hear this. I should fix this. Probably loud. Probably really loud now. Anyways, yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by. Another good show. Email Tim if you haven't. Winners, if you're still here, you got $10 in Google Play credit coming. And yeah, we'll see you next week for a special 10-year show. And we'll try to give you a whole bunch of fabulous prizes. We'd love you all. Have a safe weekend. Peace.
Peace.